Attention passionate San Francisco 49ers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC West and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on San Francisco 49ers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true San Francisco 49ers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and San Francisco 49ers fans. Let's get to the news all right. Folks, buckle up because what I'm about to tell you could be a real game changer not only for the 49ers, but also for the entire NFC playoff picture. Rumors are swirling around a potential blockbuster trade involving none other than Devonta Smith, the Eagles' star receiver, heading over to San Francisco. Now I know what you're thinking. Why would Philly consider parting ways with such a talented guy? Well, it's all about strategy for them right now, especially with their cap situation and roster rebuild plans. But for us, this could be the kind of move that elevates our offense to new heights. Let's back up a bit and unpack what's happening here. The Eagles, currently sitting at 5-4 and trying to stay afloat in a very competitive NFC East, are reportedly open to trading Devonta Smith in exchange for a first-round pick in the 2026 draft. That's a big price tag, no doubt, but it's also a clear indication that Philly is prioritizing cap flexibility and roster depth, especially on the defensive line. They're about freeing up around $12 million in cap space to bolster their front seven, which is a critical need as they push toward the playoffs. And with Jalen Hurts nursing that ankle injury, expected to keep him out for about 3 weeks, their focus might be shifting toward a rebuild or retooling, especially since their odds to make the postseason are now around plus 300. Now, the Eagles are not exactly throwing in the towel. They still see a shot at a deep playoff run, but their current roster composition is leaning towards a semi-reset mode. Think back to last year's big move with A.J. Brown. Philly's front office isn't afraid to shake things up if it means positioning themselves better for the future. The Eagles' wide receiver depth includes Brown, but with Smith on the trade block, they're looking for a fresh start, possibly to gather more draft capital and cap flexibility. For the 49ers, this situation is a golden opportunity to add a true weapon to our passing game. Devonta Smith, often called the precision artist, is exactly the kind of receiver that can be a perfect fit in our offense. His hands are incredibly reliable, and he's a master at creating separation on intermediate routes. Over the 2025 season so far, Smith has racked up 38 catches for 552 yards and 4 touchdowns, averaging 5 yards per catch with an overall PFF grade in the top 10. That's elite production, especially considering he's a key piece of the Eagles' offense. His route mastery, especially in the intermediate zone where he's hitting an 84% success rate, makes him a mismatch nightmare for defenses. What makes Smith particularly attractive for us is his ability to make contested catches. He's pulling those down at a 58% clip, and his yards after catch, which sits at 5.8 yards, showcasing his explosiveness. If you compare him to some of the other top receivers in the league, his stats and efficiency are right up there with the best. His deep route completion rate is around 43%, and he's got a catch rate of 90%, which is phenomenal in today's NFL. Plus, his YAC, yards after catch, and separation metrics show he's a true threat on every down, especially in the clutch moments where we need that reliable target. Now, let's talk about how this would impact the 49ers. With Brandon Ayuk sidelined due to a shoulder injury, he's been on IR since Week 5. Our WR core has been a bit banged up and lacking that consistent deep threat. We've seen flashes from guys like Jalen Pearson, who's questionable with a groin injury, but nothing quite matches the consistency and precision Smith would bring. His addition would stabilize our receiving options, especially in the middle of the field, and give Brock Purdy a premier target to lean on. Imagine the chemistry they could develop quickly. Purdy's accuracy paired with Smith's route running and hands. This could elevate our offense to a whole new level. On the field, Smith's stats this year are impressive. He's averaging 79 yards per game, with a catch rate of 90% on contested passes, and his ability to create mismatches is reminiscent of the best slot receivers in NFL history. His success rate on slant routes is around 78%, making him a real go-to guy in critical situations. And in a league where winning on third down is everything, Smith's plus 14% conversion rate in those situations could be a game changer for us, especially considering how efficient our offense already is, averaging around 7-9 yards per attempt, which puts us in the top 3 in the league. Now, what about the strategic fit? Well, the 49ers are all about versatility and precision, and Smith's skill set aligns perfectly with our offense's philosophy. His route mastery, especially in the intermediate zone, could help us force mismatches and open up the field for Kittle, who's been a reliable target himself with 82 catches in 2025. The addition of Smith would also alleviate some of the pressure on Deebo Samuel, creating more space and options for Brock Purdy to execute plays effectively. From a financial standpoint, the 49ers have enough flexibility, around $15 million in cap space, to make a move like this, especially if it means acquiring a player of Smith's caliber. The trade, according to rumors, would involve a significant draft pick, perhaps a first-rounder, which shows just how highly we value him. It's a bold move, but if it comes to fruition, it could be the piece that pushes us from good to great in the NFC. Now, considering the bigger picture, the Super Bowl odds are already trending upward for the 49ers. After a 6-3 start, many analysts see us as one of the top contenders to make a deep playoff run. Adding Smith could boost those odds even more, especially since he's projected to be a key factor in our offense's success down the stretch. His ability to stretch the field and make precise catches would be a nightmare for defenses, much like the impact Randy Moss had in his prime, but in a more refined, precise package. And let's not forget the NFC West. This division is shaping up to be incredibly competitive, with the Seahawks, Rams, and Cardinals all fighting for playoff spots. The Seahawks, for example, are already peaking with Geno Smith leading a potent offense, and the Rams are always in the mix with their star-studded roster. If the 49ers can add a weapon like Devonta Smith, it would be a massive statement of intent, showing the league that we're not just contenders, but favorites to hoist the Lombardi Trophy once again. Looking at the odds, the Super Bowl futures have already shifted significantly. Before this news, the 49ers were around plus 600, but with a potential acquisition of a player like Smith, those odds could plummet to plus 350 or even lower. His presence could be the X factor that elevates our postseason chances from good to unstoppable, especially with a quarterback like Purdy who's been playing at a high level all year. His accuracy, combined with Smith's route precision and reliable hands, could create a perfect storm of offensive firepower. Of course, there are skeptics. Some fans and analysts worry about giving up draft capital or disrupting the chemistry in Philly. The Eagles are also wary of losing a player like Smith, but the strategic move to free up cap space and focus on their defensive line shows they're willing to make tough decisions. For the 49ers, though, the opportunity is right there. An elite receiver who can step in immediately, produce big plays, and help us secure a top seed in the NFC. In the end, this potential trade could be one of those moves that define the 2025 season for the 49ers. It's a bold step, but one that fits with our aggressive, championship-minded approach. Imagine lining up with Smith, Deebo, and Kittle on the field. Defenses would be in chaos, and we could see a passing attack that rivals some of the best in NFL history. So as always, we'll keep our eyes peeled for updates. If this trade happens, it could be the catalyst that takes us all the way to the Super Bowl, just like we've been dreaming since the offseason. The 49ers have the talent, the coaching, and now maybe the star receiver to make that final push. An exciting time to be a fan, and I can't wait to see how this story unfolds. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest San Francisco 49ers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now San Francisco 49ers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential move? Do you think Devonta Smith would be the perfect addition to our offense? Or are you worried about giving up that draft capital? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the 49ers. Remember, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest San Francisco 49ers news. This season is shaping up to be one of the most exciting in recent memory, and with moves like this, we could be on the brink of something truly special. Let's go Niners!